Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain AccuWeather, coming to you by way of the Captain AccuWeather Command Center. Very happy that you're here. We're making a countdown. Did you know we're down to the last, 3 days, if you don't count today, until fall. Fall begins. The autumnal equinox is at 2:50 in the morning. Now, that necessarily we're going to be awake for that, but that will be when it officially occurs, astronomically speaking. And, of course, the trees won't look like this at that magical time, but eventually they could evolve into the beautiful colors that we typically see in the Smokies first and evolves in other parts of East Tennessee thereafter. But I do want to mention to you, I am brought to you by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, family owned and operated since 1982. Gotta love that. In fact, one of the cool things that they have, in addition to the many features they've had, because they've been around since, the World's Fair, James Fincham, that's where the game came. James Fincham started his business, and it's been family owned and run. But I love the fact that they have so many good features that we can benefit from as we head into winter, because heating your home is a big factor, and certainly we have the cooling aspect too. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot to see on the radar this morning. The Ultimate Doppler Radar, presented by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, shows its dry scan as we're looking from the Jackson radar. By the way, it's not every day I get to talk about dirty socks, but this is one of the things I found fascinating when I talked to the folks at A1 Fincham. Did you know dirty sock syndrome is a thing? Now, I'm not talking about your laundry. Even though we're live on Facebook and YouTube, this is an important thing to pass along. A dirty sock syndrome is a thing, and they can clean the coil indoor to avoid this. This is what they call dirty sock. Now, what is dirty sock? Well, it can look like this, it can look like this, and it can smell not so good. Foul-smelling odor that comes from your air conditioning the moment you turn it on. So when you get a moisture buildup, dust and dirt buildup along the evaporator coil, that causes bacteria to explode, mold and mildew to multiply, and these are things that, this is like a thing. So you definitely want to make sure that you take care of your heating and cooling system. We take better care of our cars, our trucks, than perhaps our heating and air conditioning system. And if you're looking for somebody that I would promote, check out A1 Fincham. Perhaps maybe you're in the market for a new heating and air conditioning company. They do guarantee their work with A1 Fincham. But yeah, dirty sock syndrome, maybe you didn't know about that. By the way, they offer this monthly maintenance plan that I love, because they come out once before winter and once before summer with a thorough checkup of all your heating and air conditioning needs. And so this way it gives you peace of mind. You can always go to a1fincham.com. I'll talk more about them throughout the weather here for the next 10 or 15 minutes, but I just want you to know they are family owned and operated. Many of you have known they've been in Powell for many, many years, and they do service all of East Tennessee. Now, radar is showing not a lot. On the edge, maybe west of Cape Girardeau, there's a little bit of green on the screen, but the whole state of Tennessee is dry, which is why I say we're going to have rain well to the far west, and we're going to have rain showers and storms well to the south and east. There may be something tropical, subtropical, or just a heavy rainmaker heading up into the southeast. So if you're planning a vacation, maybe you're going there this weekend. I had one of my premium members alter the plans. And I said, we got rip currents, you got bands of rain. It may not be, when you have rip currents, the lifeguards say, get out of the water. How fun is that? You're going to spend the money and the mileage to go to the beach? Don't you want to be able to enjoy the beach, maybe more than just put your toe in? They might not even want your toes in. They say, get out of the water. I know how that works. They put the red flags up. But there will be some disturbed weather off the coast of Florida today, and that's only going to grow as we head forward in the next couple of mornings and into the next couple of days. Visibility not the best. Middlesboro, Jacksboro, La Follette, and Jellicoe. You may find visibility down to a mile, maybe less than a mile in some spots. Not that noticeable. McKee-Tyson, where you see a 10 beside your town, that's the maximum visibility that you would observe. And as far as our temperatures are concerned, boy, it's another cool one. We're in the 50s, 59 in Knoxville, 52 Johnson City, but it's 60 in Nashville. If we zoom in a little bit tighter, which we can do, it's 59 in Chattanooga. It's 57 Oak Ridge, Morristown, 56 Newport, and 54 in Rockwood. Good morning once again to you. I maybe didn't say it on this camera, but I'm going to say hi. If you're on YouTube, say hi to me. I'm over here. I'd love to say hi. You can see a couple of prompts here, but I'm on YouTube, and there are 2 people watching over here. Leave me a comment. You can be the first comment on YouTube today. On Facebook, where most of us are, I want to say good morning to you, and if you're on the call, just say hi. I see Wanda Post says cool this morning in Newport. Cool, and good morning to Fred. Fred's on the call, and Carrie says good morning. She's got her cup of coffee in her heart. So I would say happy Wednesday. We reached the middle of the week. Happy to have Carrie on here as well in the live element on Facebook. So let me know where you are temperature-wise. If you're kind of cool, do you like this cool weather? Is this your thing, or is it, hey, I'm ready for either really cold or keep it warm? Some of us don't like it in the in-between zone, and some might think 52 in Jacksboro is cold enough to wear a jacket, but not cold enough to get all that excited. Dew points are in the 50s, so it feels very comfortable. And that's one thing that's been lacking. It hasn't been all that sticky in the last couple of days. In fact, it's not even stuffy. Where you see some light green would suggest a higher area of humidity, higher dew points west of Memphis by 5 o'clock today, but really nothing to talk about in the state of Tennessee. Heading into tomorrow morning, maybe a little more humidity near Jackson and Memphis, and then it just kind of begins to build in the green areas around Memphis later on Thursday into Friday. But really, if you're looking for some nice, comfortable days, you've picked the best week perhaps we've had in some time. The dryness continues, but I do know we don't have a whole lot of rain to talk about in the short term. By the way, kept some notes. Yesterday we hit 81 degrees. I was expecting 83. So we were 81 Oak Ridge, 81 in Knoxville. We were 2 degrees below where I expected. But today I think we'll make a good shot at getting to 83 degrees. So that's where I expect to be here. Now, as far as the clouds, there are not going to be a whole lot of them. And the wind speeds will be generally 0 to 5, if not for the balance of the day. I see Wanda Post. She says she's ready for some snow. 6 inches would be okay with her. Darcy says she's hating. She's hating as we look at our forecast for today. 83 Knoxville, 79 in Sevierville, and 83 in Kingston. See Darcy, she says she's hating this fog. She says the visibility is absolutely horrible. That's what Darcy's report is. Be safe out there. So when you're in the Kingston area, Harriman, if you've got fog, Darcy says it's not great. So please be extra careful. Denise is just loving this cooler weather. Some people just rejoice. But then there are some people who say, we need the rain. We're really dry. We're now only 0.29. That's a little more than a quarter inch above normal for the year. And after today, after tomorrow, we're going to cause that to erase. So we're going to slowly transition by the latter part of this week into the deficit for the year. And then we're going to start, all right, well, are we in a drought situation? Soon we'll be abnormally dry because there's not a whole lot of rain opportunities over the next 7 days. There's just not. And it may continue on that path. But 83 is where I expect to be today, mostly sunny. Now, there are some high clouds advancing from Athens, from Crossville, coming in from the west. Not going to be a big factor, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. Most of the showers you can see are across parts of Missouri and into Arkansas at this particular hour. So again, we're talking about high thin clouds for the most part today. Sunrise and sunset times are now on your screen. 7:22 is when the sun comes up and goes to bed at 7:36. Maybe you're not a fan of the shorter days. But these two numbers will match very soon with the autumnal equinox. Sometimes it takes a few days later or earlier, or whether you're in the spring or fall, partly because of the curvature of the Earth. But we're going to be seeing a sunset tonight at 7:36. Getting closer. 7:30. Nobody likes it when it's dark really early. Most people don't. But that's what is part of the plan as we head toward the Christmas time season. By the time we hit December, our days have reached their shortest all year. 67. 10 a.m. 81 degrees by 2 o'clock. Look for mostly sunny skies. And the ragweed, yes, it's still high. So if you have allergies, your kids have allergies, make sure that they're prepared for the day ahead. As the grass and mold may be low to moderate. As I mentioned, A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, family owned and operated since 1982. Check out a1fincham.com. They're here to serve you. They do things right the first time. That's what I love about them. They're technicians. They're NATE certified. That's N-A-T-E, and prepared to get the job right the first time. They won't quit till you're happy, but they're focused on customer satisfaction. I mentioned the monthly maintenance plan. They also have some very cool things to highlight because you can come out once before winter, once before summer, and you get these thorough checkups, and you can pay on it over the course of the year. And it's very affordable. I can tell you that. Check them out with their phone number, 865-947-4267. All right, I want to get to the fall color because many of you I know are curious, where can I find the best color? Not only going to show you where the latest update is, according to our friends at Explore Fall, but also where we could be next week. Now that's intel. Where do you think the fall color is really going to be next week? Because that's what you might be planning. You can see a lot of yellow areas would suggest low color across the Great Lakes now. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Omaha, Chicago, and Indianapolis. There's a little bit more color perhaps in parts of central Kentucky. And here in Knoxville and in East Tennessee, you could say there's some color, but not a whole lot. We'll call it little to no color based on the analysis that's been made here. But you look at next week, oh, that's helpful. Hey, I was planning a trip to Salt Lake City, or hey, I'm going to Denver. Well, what can I expect? Next week, there'll be some more moderate to high color already developing in the Rockies. So if you're headed to the Rockies, perhaps into the Great Lakes, you're going to find some great colors. Salt Lake City, the Denver area, by next week, there will be certainly some great color to check out if you're going to be headed there. Or maybe you have family there, could take some great photos and send them to you. And you can post them on the David Aldrich Weather Group. Love to have that too. But there's some more color, as you can see, across the Great Lakes, Wisconsin, northern Michigan next week. Even more color in Kentucky, but maybe to a lesser degree here next week in East Tennessee. Once we get further into September and especially October, that's when things start to come alive, especially here locally. So we'll be watching that very closely. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's very easy to do. It's free. You go to youtube.com/@CaptainAccurate. Speaking of YouTube, as I come back on camera, if you're on YouTube, maybe there's a comment here. I don't know. Last time I was here yesterday, I got a couple from Melissa Mumpower. Thank you, Melissa. She's first on the draw today. She writes, "Good morning. My favorite season is fall. We're almost, 3 days away from pumpkin spice time. I know people jumped the gun in August. They were on the pumpkin spice train last month. But next 3-4 days will officially be in fall season." She says, "Bless you, David. Have a blessed day." Thank you, Melissa Mumpower. She's a great supporter. We got 4 people now on YouTube watching us live. Of course, they'll watch it throughout the day. Darcy says she hates the fog, and Wanda says she's ready for some snow. So everybody's got something they're ready for, but the question is, are you ready for today? High temperatures today should be in the lower 80s. We'll be watching that closely. So here are the headlines as I clear my throat. Nice on Wednesday, that's today. Pleasant on Thursday, that's tomorrow. And beautiful on Friday. Do you see a theme here? There's just not a whole lot. In fact, if I pulled out an umbrella, somebody would say, "What is that? I haven't seen one of those. That's like a relic from the Civil War. Oh, an umbrella. Haven't used it in a long time." Being sarcastic, but that may be the way you feel by the time this week is through, because there's just not a lot to see in the short term. Let me get to the tropics. Also, the area that's disturbed off of Florida will grow. I want to highlight this may or may not get a name. We know from Memorial Day there was a storm and undisturbed weather, or disturbed weather off the coast of the southeast over Memorial Day, and it too did not get a name, and they really rocked the world, those who were on a Carnival cruise. There was a big national report about that. So sometimes it helps to give it a name so that people wake up and say, "Hey, pay attention to this. This is a big deal." That's also an element that I think plays a role in the psyche, maybe the social science of weather. If you don't give it a name, some people don't give it much due and don't give it much, don't think about it. There's Nigel. Nigel's probably made a few national headlines, and he's not going to bother anybody, right? He's just spinning to the north and makes maybe some fanfare from the fact that he's got 100-mile-an-hour winds. Here's Hurricane Nigel as of 5 o'clock this morning. You can see the broken white dash line where it's been, and I can show you where the Hurricane Center thinks it's going. It's going to be going well to the north, away from us. In fact, Nigel, which sounds kind of British, might be headed north toward London for some fish and chips, but no, it doesn't even look like it's going to make it to London. But it will be moving into the weekend with 60-mile-an-hour winds up toward the cooler waters of the Atlantic, and where Nigel will likely fade away from memory. But that's pretty much all we can talk about Nigel. But there are 2 areas, the one off the coast of the U.S., which is up close and personal, very personal. If you have beach vacation plans, maybe you're headed to Savannah or Tybee Island, Myrtle Beach, Wrightsville Beach, you've got to pay attention to this. As I mentioned, rip currents will be a big thing. And then the 70% in red could become Ophelia. That's the next storm, right? That could be the next name. So we could potentially have Ophelia. And if this one gets a name, this would be Philippe. But I'm not that confident it even gets a name. We'll see. It's all predicated on the Weather Service and perhaps the mood that they're in to say, yep, this has got a name, or no, it doesn't. Ophelia, Philippe, and Rena are the next 3 names on the on-deck circle as we move further into the hurricane season. It is 6:54. Our current temperature is 59 degrees. Do you like it outside? Have you had to break out a jacket, or have you had to break out the heat on the car? If you have, I feel for you, because it's been kind of cool. Low 50s for parts of the plateau. But if you have need, because that's the atmosphere outside, maybe you need an expert for the atmosphere inside. That's why I recommend A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, 865-947-4267. If you're just joining me, they are family owned and operated, and they are my sponsor for this weather segment. They've been around since 1982, the magical year of the World's Fair. James Fincham started his family business. You can check them all out at a1fincham.com. In fact, this is what their website looks like when you're on their site. So check them out. They also have a great monthly maintenance plan, which I love because they'll come out twice a year, right before winter, which is kind of like now through winter, and right before summer, to give you peace of mind. I love that. In fact, A1 Fincham, a great partner to Captain Accurate. So tell them Captain Accurate sent you if you do call them today. 59 degrees current temperature, wind out of the north. We have relative humidity at 93%. Here's the sad part. If you are a fan of rain, just don't see much. Yesterday, I had a 20% chance on Monday. Now, I kind of punted, right? It was like a 4th and long. I decided to punt and push the 20% to Tuesday. It's not all that impressive, chances of rain going down the road. And this is one of the things I talk about a lot daily with my premium members on Facebook as we go beyond the 7-day each and every day. In fact, we go weeks into the future. So if that's something important to you as weather, check it out at CaptainAccurate.com. Now, Valley Planner today. I did notice the average high has dropped a degree. It was 82 yesterday. Now it's 81, and I expect it will be about 2 degrees above average today. Mostly sunny. I guess we could use the word nice. Tomorrow we could use the word pleasant. And Friday we can just use beautiful. It's pretty much the same type of weather. By the way, the Storm Prediction Center highlighting some isolated severe storms in dark green. Not here, but if you have family maybe in parts of Oklahoma or North Texas, Northeast Texas, this would be around Tulsa, just across the state line, northeast of Dallas. There could be some isolated severe storms today. Outside of that, pretty quiet. That area grows on Thursday. You can see some areas in North Texas and right through Oklahoma, parts of Nebraska, as well as Kansas, east of Denver. Parts of Colorado could find some isolated severe storms there, and pretty quiet across on Thursday. And then last but not least, Friday, the weather, you notice it's happening all around us, right? We've got thunderstorm potential in the Carolinas. That's from the coastal feature that may or may not get a name. And then we have these severe storms potentially in Nebraska, parts of southern South Dakota, and parts of northern Kansas for possible severe weather there. It would be scattered severe in yellow. So that's where things stand at this point in time. And, of course, our future cast we're kind of going to highlight through as we go. Got a couple of notes from you. Marilyn Bell says, have a great day. It's hump day. Happy Wednesday. Great to see you, Marilyn, and good morning to you. Always love your fog reports and her great pictures that she submits, not only on the David Aldrich Weather Group, but she does that in the subscriber group as well. Janice says, David, hi, yes, I've had the heat on the car in the morning and broke out my jacket, too. You are one of the brave ones. I would say, I have not done that. I have to reach a certain critical temperature. Not quite sure what that is, but when it hits, I feel it. I go, I got to turn on the heat. But I know exactly what you mean. Felicia says, liking the cooler afternoons, but these mornings are a little too cool for me. Have a great day, and remember, release for Knox County Schools today. Oh, yes, thank you. I needed that reminder. And Ed says, good morning, nice mornings, comfortable afternoons. Open the doors to the weather. Greg LaRue says, good morning, David. Greg is also a dear friend and also a great supporter on the subscription side of the Facebook Premium. By the way, it is now 6:58. I'm going to be done here in about 2 minutes. I can fly through some of these maps. But you'll notice where the rain is today, Midwest. It does make it to Memphis, may make it to Jackson, but don't think it's coming here. In fact, it will probably fall short of Nashville. Here's a great example of model noise. It shows a lot of green, but that's not going to verify. This is, I think, just a little bit of noise from the modeling. 5 o'clock tomorrow, still dry. Friday, we got rain off the coast of Wilmington. And we got rain near, say, Springfield, Missouri. But there's not a lot here either. I think this is all noise in Knoxville. So we're going to keep things dry. Subsidence dry air will persist while it's rainy to the west and rainy to the far east. Another look at the futurecast takes us, by the time we hit midday today, look at this. 78 degrees at lunchtime today. That's pretty sweet. 83 to finish the afternoon with mostly sunny skies, maybe a few clouds. I left tonight as partly to mostly cloudy, as you can see why. 11 o'clock, we've got some clouds that kind of linger here, but then we move into, say, 7 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to wake up into the upper 50s to near 60. Tomorrow, we're about 78 at lunchtime. We'll finish around 84 tomorrow, but I don't see rain being an issue. I think all that green dots might be hopeful or wishful thinking, as we're going to keep it dry. That's my expectation. For today, at 6:59, here's your forecast. Mostly sunny and nice. High of 83. Winds aren't moving. 0 to 5. Oh, they're moving, but not much. 78 for Wartburg. If you're in Cumberland County, 77 in Crossville, Jamestown, 81 Morristown, 83 in Newport. Traveling today to the west, 85 in Nashville, 82 in Chattanooga for travelers in the 80s. 59 tonight. Think of it as a partly and a mostly cloudy sky if you prefer scattered clouds because it will be changeable, but some patches of fog will likely develop tomorrow morning. Low temperatures tonight, Morristown, Newport 56. 56 in Wartburg, 57 in Crossville, 59 in Maryville. And we look ahead to the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast. Here you go, 83 for the next 2 days. Still warm for this time of year. And then 84 on Friday, 82 on Saturday. Of course, the big game is at 4 o'clock against UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio. I expect temperatures to be around 82. And they'll cool into the 70s pretty quickly for the balance of the game. 82 on Sunday, and then again, hopeful that we get some rain that we can put our teeth into on Tuesday, but 20% chance at this point is not all that impressive. By the way, if you haven't checked out A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, check them out at 865-947-4267. I love the fact they're family owned and operated since 1982. James Fincham started his company, family owned with Tennessee values. Gotta love it. And they're focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy and prepared to get the job done right the first time. And they have this great monthly maintenance plan. I can't brag enough about this. A1fincham.com. They'll come out once before winter and once before summer, and just check it out. I think it's a great way to give you peace of mind because you don't want your heat to fail you. Remember how we had that big polar plunge last December? I mean, if your heat was kind of on the shaky side of things before that happened, you would want to make sure it's checked out beforehand. So make sure you check out A1 Fincham, 865-947-4267. So very thankful for you and very thankful for them. And I was going to say, as you prepare, make sure, of course, rag week can sometimes be an issue, but you don't want to forget to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. So weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.